Robotech is back now!
So, I just sat up here and told you guys something that you've never heard. A secret that I've been holding in. I mean, a few people have known this secret. In fact, I actually, when I did this first episode, Star Dragon, I did it with him. And what happened was, unfortunately, I didn't turn up the audio loud enough so you guys really can't hear him. I mean, like, I could hear him when I turned him up on my computer, but you guys couldn't hear him. And, you know, I sat up here and I revealed the secret. So he at least knows. And then I actually sent the vid to Heatsinker, so Heatsinker knows as well. But yes, I do come from the future. I am not a person of this time. The way it worked, the way it played out was that I actually was in a super dimensional rift. And I got my ass pooned back here. That's pretty much how it happened. I was on the fringe of a black hole, being sucked in, you know, kicked on the whole thing. Let me tell you something, the Nichols maneuver doesn't work. Not in the way they explain it in Shadow Chronicles. It doesn't. It doesn't. And yeah, I ended up here. That's how it played out. Now, it's a little more complicated than that, and as things go on, I will sit up here and divulge things to you guys. But I come from way into the future. You know, and like I said, the reason why I am, you know, the #1 Robotech fan, the reason why I understand Robotech so well is because I actually lived it. That's right, I lived it. I've been in interstellar galactic wars. I've liberated planets. You know, I've fought on the front lines. You know, and the whole thing is that you might be sitting, you know, in your seat thinking, this mofo is crazy. But let me ask you something. Does a face like this here look like it would be crazy? Does it? Do you see a smile? No, you don't. It's because I know the heart, you know, wrenching acts that happen in, you know, that not just happen but take place in the future. And the way it affects everything. Now, it does turn out that the future is really, I don't think it's that bad. I happen to love the future. I like it more than I like this. But it turns out that you guys are pretty dead on the money. One of the reasons why I love Robotech so much is because Robotech is actually closer to the future than just about any other sci-fi that I've seen. And actually the future is made up of a couple different things. I mean, if you want to think about it in terms of shows, Robotech is the best depiction of it. You know, and like I said, I'll go into that a little later in some of the future vidcasts. But it's made up of, you know, a combination of, you could say Gundam, Robotech, you could say, you know, Babylon 5, so on and so forth. Andromeda would be a nice way to look at it too. And it's a very large collection of things that happen in the future that actually stick us in the situation that we are in today, with me giving you guys a vidcast. You know. Now, basically the way it happens is, yeah, I got stuck in the time rift. Instead of, most people would go forward in time, I just have really shitty ass luck. I ended up going back in time. Luckily, my, you know, my consciousness and my very soul being was able to retain itself. Although, going back in time, you know, physically I regressed. You know, and, you know, nature took its course, and bam, you know, one thing led to another with the birds and the bees, and poof, you know, I was there. That's how it worked. It's an amazing thing what you guys are able to achieve. I'll tell you what, in my time, many of us are actually created and I would say in very creative ways, some that you people would consider to be immoral, others of you who would probably prefer to be created that way. But the man and woman thing, I mean, although it does happen, it's clearly, I want to say, outweighed by, genetic manipulation, test tubes, and things of that nature. Cloning is also a really big thing in the future, clones. Although there weren't any clones of me. And I should also sit up here and reveal that I'm actually not even human. I mean, in this time I am, because that's all that you have, that I have to work with. And the worst part about it is the person who is of this time is in my time now. And that really sucks for them. I mean, I'm quite sure, the Doug of this time is figuring out in my time. And just for the sake of calling it my time, we'll call it after. Okay, we'll call it after, so you guys have a greater understanding of what I'm talking about when I talk about my time. We'll call it after because it's more simplistic than just saying my time, because you guys might be thinking, what the heck is your time? But it is millenniums beyond millenniums of this current generation. But like I said, I'm quite sure he's doing well. He should be doing well. I'm quite sure he's enjoying himself. It's every mech fanboy's dream to be going into a time frame where, you have giant robots and stuff like that. My ass, unfortunately, gets stuck in this mechaless society, where the only robots I ever see are the robots cleaning, I want to say, or sweeping dirt off the floor. And I'm like, are you guys serious? You guys don't even have, I want to say, the robotic digital cameras yet. Which, I guess it is what it is. Oh well, that's how it plays out, right? Yeah, that's true. But, it was of a noble cause, I will say this, I didn't get my ass kicked. That's not how it happened. It's just that you can only go against so much. And, yeah, I went up against quite a bit. So, it was what it was. And, here I am, stuck with you guys, stuck on planet Earth. I will say this, though, just as a side note, real quick side note, I honestly can't even believe that we defended humanity in the way that we did after seeing the people on this planet. I mean, granted, in the future, you guys are much better, more civilized people than what you are now. But to tell you the truth, a whole lot doesn't change with you people. Not at all. I mean, you people still sit up here and fight, wars. You got your head more on your shoulders, though. I'd say that. You guys got that going. But a lot of your creativity, ironically, comes from not then, but from the past. And I'll hit that up in a second.
Robotech will return after this.